What if you were standing on a beach and happened to see a tsunami wave rushing at you? Think about what would happen should you be caught outdoors with a tornado forming right there in front of you. While it is fortunate if you've never experienced either of those circumstances, others have not been so, and will tell you how dangerous and extreme are the forces of nature. Natural phenomena can be beautiful and dangerous in the same light. Around the world, there are countries where extreme climatic conditions have given rise to the worst natural phenomena on Earth, from supercell tornadoes in the USA to giant tsunamis in Indonesia. Here are 15 most dangerous natural phenomena. Be sure to continue watching till number 1, which, while lethal, is amazing too. Red tide dust storm. Have you ever been caught in a storm? It can be messy, especially when dust gets in your mouth. What if it were a sandstorm in a desert? You wouldn't be spitting out dust, you'd be buried in sand. Sandstorms or dust storms are a regular weather phenomenon in drylands and deserts of North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. But what's also called a red tide, and much like a ferocious tsunami on land, is threatening several regions in Australia. The country down under faced an epic heat wave in summer and was ravaged by severe dust storms. Temperatures rising to almost 119 degrees Fahrenheit triggered extreme conditions that unleashed massive dirt storms bearing across the region. The red tides are typical white clouds tinged with red or brown as dirt is churned up into the air and transported across wide areas of the country. Also called haboob, the much-feared storms were a regular feature across the West Australian coast. Along with forest fires, they wreaked havoc, destroying thousands of acres of land and property. Avalanches. If there's one thing that even a hardened Sherpa of Nepal fears more than scaling a rock face up Mount Everest, it's an avalanche. There's nothing scarier than a falling mass of snow and ice scarring the mountainside. As most veteran climbers will tell you, a typical avalanche can be eerie and begins with a sudden rumbling high up a mountain. With no warning, there's little one can do except run for cover. Surprisingly, it's humans that trigger most avalanches in North America. Irresponsible skiers, snowmobilers, and climbers caring little for safety frequently fall prey to instigated avalanches that result in a huge wave of snow rushing downhill like broken glass. In fact, an avalanche can even spill out onto the freeway, damaging vehicles too. In the Himalayas, and Mount Everest in particular, the heavy traffic of climbers aspiring to reach the summit repeatedly create conditions causing avalanches. Large chunks of ice or glacier break off sliding down a slope, increasing in momentum, speed, and mass that steamroll over the terrain, caring little for those in the way. Tropical cyclones. If you were caught in a hurricane, what's the first thing you would do? Taking cover or holding on to something sturdy would probably do it, but in a tropical cyclone, it's an entirely different experience altogether. Tropical cyclones are far more dangerous where you may not be completely safe even at home. As many have experienced tropical cyclones will tell you, shattered glass panes, uprooted trees crashing into windows, and rain blown horizontally into your living room is a tropical cyclone scenario. Typically, cyclones are created by rotating storms with a low-pressure center forming over large bodies of warm water. The ensuing closed, low-level atmospheric circulation with spiraling strong winds and thunderstorms causes widespread damage and heavy rain or squalls. Increasing evaporation energizes the storms, making them a lot more powerful than European-type windstorms, with wind speeds of up to 160 miles per hour. Tropical cyclones cause severe flooding, where mangled phone and electrical poles, uprooted trees, and destroyed houses are a common sight. Strangely though, tropical cyclones regulate global climate and draw the heat away from tropical zones. Tsunamis. A tsunami is one of the most dangerous of natural phenomena that comes without a warning. As a series of waves that turn into one massive wall of water, it's caused by large volumes of water displacement occurring in oceans and large lakes. Tsunamis, unlike normal waves impacted by the pull of lunar gravitation, can be triggered by earthquakes. A tsunami can carry on for minutes to hours, making it destructive and deadly. More like a wave train, tsunamis like that of 2004 and the destructive one that ravaged Japan in 2011 are so powerful that even large concrete structures, airplanes, and heavy ships get carried away. While tsunamis occur only on coastal areas, the impact of their destruction can reach far and wide. Lenticular clouds. Have you ever flown from Denver across the Rockies and experienced the worst turbulence of your life? Chances are your flight was caught in a lenticular cloud. Lenticular clouds are just like ocean waves, but of thick masses of air that repeatedly bounce off mountains, indicating extreme atmospheric instability. The presence of lenticular clouds in the Rockies, for example, are dangerous, especially for planes flying across them. While lenticular clouds can also make quite an interesting and amazing sight, they aren't as nice as they look. They can be pretty mean. And as U.S. Air Force pilot Colonel Curtis Dale will tell you, lenticular clouds are so lethal, they can mess up an aircraft's instruments pretty bad and even damage or break up a plane. Fire devils. If there's one natural weather phenomena you may never want to be caught standing beneath, it's a fire devil. Fire devils, also called fire whirls, are whirlwinds of flame, often caused by a forest fire and composed of nothing but fire, wind, debris, and ash. Like a mini flaming tornado, it could well seem like a lightning bolt from hell. Fire devils, first identified in the 2003 forest fires of Canberra, Australia, usually start as regular whirlwinds that start to rise with smoke. The intense heat from fires combine with gusts of winds to form a fire devil. Not to be confused with fire tornadoes or fire twisters, they're completely different phenomena. Fire devils are more whirling eddies of air and flames that can contract to resemble a tornado, like a vortex of debris, wind, and combustible gases. What makes fire whirls different from the more ferocious fire tornadoes is its vortex that does not extend from the surface to the cloud base. Their vorticity is derived from surface winds and rise due to the heat. Be that as it may, fire devils are equally threatening to the surface flora and fauna alike. Wildfires. Wildfires can be an extremely destructive natural force. Just ask those in California and Australia who'll tell you a wildfire is when nature can be most threatening. Wildfires in forests, grasslands, and prairies are caused by natural phenomena such as lightning, but in several cases, it's careless human activity. However, the cause of 50% of wildfires around the world are yet to be ascertained. In the last few years, the world has witnessed some of the worst wildfires in history, occurring in California, Australia, and the Amazon. Wildfires in California in 2018 witnessed unprecedented loss as rampaging flames destroyed hundreds of lives, crops, and property. Eyewitness accounts from the town of Paradise in California recall how raging fires destroyed everything in its path. Wildfires increase in dry weather, drought, and hot temperatures. When combined with strong winds to fan the flames, the conflagration can be extreme. Wildfires release huge amounts of carbon dioxide and particulate matter into the atmosphere, and has been known to destroy thousands of acres of forest. It's climate change that's been increasing wildfires every year, resulting in pollution, ill health, respiratory problems, and negative mental well-being. Morning Glory Cloud. What if you came across a large horizontal cloud mass that makes the entire sky look like a scene from Independence Day? Would you expect to see a spaceship emerging from it? As fantastic as that may sound, the Morning Glory Cloud, a rare meteorological phenomenon, looks exactly like an alien cloud formation stretching across the sky. It's a single-body, low-level atmospheric wave of cloud that appears in different regions across the world. The wave can sometimes look like a time-lapse video of constantly rolling clouds. However, if there's one place on Earth where you can predict a morning glory cloud that occurs frequently, it's the southern part of the Gulf of Carpentaria in northern Australia. Also called an Arcus or roll cloud, it can increase up to 620 miles long and up to 1.24 miles high. You may spot just a single cloud, but it isn't uncommon to find 10 cloud rolls making one solitary cloud. Meteorologists have identified 3 types of morning glory clouds to date. While a morning glory cloud looks fascinating to watch, it also brings with it wind squalls and varying weather conditions in its wake. Lightning strikes. If you're ever caught in a thunder and lightning storm, make sure you get indoors quickly, because if lightning strikes you, you're toast. Lightning strikes are one force of nature that can be lethal, with slim chances of survival. Lightning strikes originate in cumulonimbus clouds, producing electrical discharges that travel downward all the way to the ground. If you've ever witnessed a lightning storm from your window, you may have seen how lightning is often vertical. However, it can be horizontal too and travel for tens of miles. Lightning is still an enigma, and although a single bolt may be just an inch in diameter, but because of it, the ensuing flash of bright cursing light, it looks larger and more dramatic to the human eye. Lightning strikes often cause extreme damage, triggering wildfires or destroying property. A single lightning bolt can be lethal, and surprisingly, it isn't the burn that causes permanent injury or fatalities, but almost a billion volts of electricity that damage nerves, muscle, and cell membranes instantly. Melting glaciers. How aware are you of climate change? Do you know what happens when our planet grows hotter? Global warming is causing one of the world's worst natural phenomena that millions aren't aware of simply because it's occurring in regions where we'd never hope to go. We're talking about melting glaciers. Since the 20th century, melting glaciers have increased to alarming levels. Unchecked, scientists say it could lead to rising sea levels, threatening to inundate inhabited islands and flooding coastal cities worldwide. It's human activity responsible for global warming and melting glaciers. Irresponsible industry and rampant consumption of fossil fuels are releasing huge amounts of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In turn, rising temperatures are forcing the phenomena of melting glaciers to intensify. And with climate change spiraling out of control, glaciers may well be extinct in record time. Studies say that our planet is losing 335 billion tons of ice every year, and that is 30% the rate of current ocean growth. Put together, the Earth consists of enough glacial ice that when melted would raise ocean levels by more than half a meter. Landslides. If you've never experienced or seen a landslide, then pray you're never caught in one. While landslides are a frequent occurrence in mountainous and hilly regions, it becomes lethal when the area is an inhabited one. Landslides or landslips are a huge mass of unsettled rock, earth, and mud and debris sliding down a sloped terrain. It occurs in several environments and can be caused by the loosening of subterranean soil, either due to heavy rainfall or earthquakes. In many cases, landslides are caused when hill slopes are disturbed due to road building and excessive human encroachment. This ultimately results in slope failure, leading the inner soil to give way. It's the force of gravity that drives a landslide, causing it to increase in intensity as it gathers more debris and mud along the way. Landslides, as you can see in this video, can be extremely dangerous because they occur without warning. A landslide is like a land tsunami that can crush entire homes and human structures, which are simply buried or dragged away. Volcanoes. A volcanic eruption is one of the worst natural hazards, and if caught up in one, there are slim chances to survive. The interior of the Earth's crust consists of molten hot boiling pools of magma that rises because of high pressure, exploding through vents in the Earth's surface called volcanoes. Earth is home to almost 1,500 active volcanoes that periodically spew lava, ash, rock, and dangerous gases into the air. It's the aftermath of a volcanic eruption that may last for weeks, causing widespread damage to the surrounding areas. What's worse is the negative impact on the environment, where volcanic eruptions spewing carbon dioxide and toxic gases into the air contributes to global warming. This video depicts one of the most incredible volcanic shots ever, where a scientific team led by Jeff Mackley and Bradley Ambrose, who studied the Marram volcano's famed lava lake on Ambrym Island in Vanuatu. The team who attempted to explore the rim of the crater were covered in fireproof gear but could only withstand the incredible heat for 6 seconds. Tornadoes. Nothing could be scarier than a spiraling and ferocious tornado, considered one of the most dangerous of natural phenomena on Earth. Tornadoes are lethal because they're known to generate the strongest winds on the planet, gobbling up anything standing in its way. Tornadoes are amongst the most frustrating forces of nature because they can smash your house to smithereens. In regions of North America, tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes are the most feared forces of nature. Known also as twisters, tornadoes are vertical funnels of rapidly spinning air, generating wind speeds in excess of 250 miles per hour. The fury and fright of a tornado is enhanced by the presence of storm clouds and a darkened greenish sky. Born in thunderstorms, the strongest tornadoes can be caused by giant storms known as supercells. A tornado funnel descending from a cloud and hitting the ground roaring forward makes a dramatic but eerie scene straight out of an alien movie. It's not uncommon for tornadoes to run along a path for miles, tearing up homes, trees, cars, and bridges, or just about anything standing in its path. While tornadoes occur around the world, it's the United States that's one of the major hotspots for tornadoes, where almost 1,000 are witnessed every year. Tornadoes in the USA have caused around $400 million in damage, not forgetting the final impact on human lives. Brinicles. Did you know that the saline water of the ocean has a lower freezing point than that of fresh water? While fresh water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, seawater on the other hand has a freezing point of negative 1.9 degrees or colder. Also, icicles are a common phenomenon that you may witness every winter, even outside your front door. But have you heard of brinicles? Brinicles, also called sea stalactites, form when seawater freezes to form a spongy crystalline structure, consisting of channels of concentrated salt water within it. Salt water, also called brine, is heavier than the surrounding seawater, which then sinks through the cracks of floating sea ice. When it descends to the less concentrated areas below, it again freezes seawater coming in contact with it. The crystals of ice then form into a tube-like structure called a brine icicle, or a brinicle. Brinicles may not be dangerous, but they are easily broken at the lightest touch, which is why divers need to be extra cautious not to disturb them or face the consequences of ice burns or hypothermia underwater. While divers do possess the infrastructure and intelligence to navigate brinicles, sea animals like sea urchins, starfish, and smaller creatures aren't so fortunate. Unable to escape, they become encased in an icy coffin, frozen completely by the brine. This is also one of the reasons brinicles are called icy coffins. Bioluminescence. If you've vacationed in beach areas at the Hawaiian Islands, Maldives, or Merritt Island in Florida, chances are you may have come across a carpet of blue bioluminescent phenomena. Bioluminescence is one of the most beautiful of natural phenomena, common to coastal countries and beaches around the world. But hey, don't be fooled, and make sure you keep your distance if you witness one. Beauty in nature can be deceptive, and best watch a distance away. The phenomena of bioluminescence is no exception. Bioluminescence is the bluish glowing light emitted by a living organism, also called a chemiluminescence. It's produced by marine vertebrates and invertebrates, including fungi, microorganisms, bioluminescent bacteria, and terrestrial arthropods such as fireflies. The blue bioluminescence you see on a beach is caused by a type of phytoplankton, and according to National Geographic, can also be toxic. The toxins produced can be harmful for both humans and fish alike. So the next time you do happen to see bioluminescence, it's best to enjoy the spectacle from a distance, because it's yet to be ascertained what the toxins can actually do to you.